here it's Greece, and more than a few quinceañeras. Rachel walked into work with 2 coffees from the strip mall Starbucks across the street. "Good morning," she said, and smiled at me with the whitest teeth I've ever seen in real life. I've debated asking if she uses whitening strips or has invested in veneers, but I don't want her to know that I look at her so closely. Rachel and I never met before getting this job. Our high schools were on the opposite sides of town. I went to West Side and she went to Pinewood, and I can say with some degree of certainty that we ran in different crowds. "Morning," I said. "How's it going?" she asked. "It's going." I grabbed one of the coffees from her without saying thank you or offering to pay. We repeat this interaction every day with minor deviations. According to the Hillside Employee Handbook, daily rituals are important to maintaining professional workplace friendships. Before Hillside Inn and Suites, I'd never held a job for more than 3 months. The summer before college, I spent a few weeks in a 10-square-foot parking booth with no air conditioning. My entire job was taking money and pushing a button to let cars in and out. I got fired for running to the Dunkin' Donuts to go to the bathroom and trapping an angry zigzag line of cars in the lot. While pursuing my doomed biochemistry studies, I worked in an animal science laboratory, injecting piglets with the common cold. As karma for this violence, the piglets peed and shit constantly, so I spent most of my time cleaning up feces slurries from the lab floors. I only lasted 2 months before I got too attached to piglet number 12 and protested by refusing to show up for 3 shifts in a row. By comparison, this job's not bad. In fact, it almost suits me. As I sipped coffee, Rachel checked tasks off the manager's to-do list with a militant cheerfulness. She listened to the voicemail and returned a call I'd missed from a mother trying to book a room for her daughter's college graduation 2 years in advance. She watered the dying spider plants in the lobby and checked on the indoor pool. She chatted with Handyman Rich about the weather as he measured the pool chemicals. She's too perfect, one of those tall, strawberry blonde white girls so overeager and performative, you can't wait to see them crack. I hadn't yet seen Rachel stumble. She fake laughed at Rich as he pretended to fall into the pool. Through the window, she saw me watching. I looked away, turned back to my solitaire match, and found I'd run out of time to make my next move. I'd finished solitaire and moved on to online Scrabble when a 20-something couple approached the desk, the man's arm wrapped around the woman's waist like they were competing in a 3-legged race. He was built like a swimmer, with gym shorts that rode low on his hips and a Cubs hat on backward. Her high ponytail was secured with a pink scrunchie. They looked wholesome enough to be in a life insurance commercial. I wasn't surprised when the conjoined creature made its way to Rachel's register, even though mine was closer. "We have a block of rooms reserved. Jenkins' wedding?" the man said. Pink scrunchie squeezed his bicep, and I caught the glitter of a giant diamond on her finger. "Congratulations," Rachel said, flashing her perfect teeth as she searched the computer for their rooms. "We're glad to have you here. Okay, we've got you on the 3rd floor, and I'll put you a few rooms away from the elevator because they can get pretty noisy." The man smiled back at Rachel, and something tightened in my throat. It wasn't just the smile that reminded me of Luke. It was the tilt of his head, the squareness of his jaw, the easy way he stood with his shoulders back. Rachel was still talking about room selection, so I interrupted. There aren't any rooms next to the elevator anyway, just supply closets. "Do you know someone named Luke Meyer?" Everyone went silent. The man, presumably Mr. Jenkins, turned to me with surprise. "No," he said slowly. "I think you two could be related." Pink Scrunchie exchanged confused glances with Rachel. "Because your tooth, the right incisor?" I tried to point it out with my pen, but Mr. Jenkins flinched away. "It's pointed and has a notch. Identical to someone I know." When Luke and I were still together, I used to run my pinky across the sharp edge, tug at his receding hairline till it stood up on its own. I liked his irregularities. They seemed to contradict Alex's decree that Luke was the most generic white man in the world. Sometimes I messed with the tooth when he slept, half hoping he'd